Hello everyone, this is Debbie and welcome to my channel Ridiculous Goodness, and today I'm going to talk about compassion and anything else that I can come up with when it comes to some personal examples. I'll try not to be too general. I just feel like I need to be a little more vulnerable, so that's something that I think I do well in certain situations and not so well in others. So I just want to talk about certain times when compassion definitely was not very much abundant in certain situations. And I guess I would start out in my experiences with people in the medical community, nurses and social workers and doctors. It's not just limited to people that are professionals. It's of course having to do with people in general. But of course, I see, just as an aside to that, I see a lot of good in people, and I do my best to not just make judgments on my own, to think that the whole medical community or anybody like that, is out to get me, or that they're just not helpful, or that they're cynical, or they're something very, just backward in a way, because you would think that people that are supposed to care for others, that are helping people that need their help, would be compassionate, but that is not always so. So, I've definitely come across people that they just don't feel like they care, and they have said extremely awful things to, of course, not only to me, but to many other people. And so it's very difficult to get help when you experience that. But I have, not let that stop me, and I still continue to seek out people that are better than that. And I have found better people, but of course there's sometimes it's still a little bit lacking. But so I'm just, as anyone, who is actually living, which is of course everybody that is listening, has experienced so much situations like this, that they aren't getting, in this situation, the care that they need, and the understanding, and it just makes you feel a little bit saddened, and maybe even I would feel sometimes a little bit angry about it, because it's like, oh, it hurts me so bad, and I'm just that's usually what happens, because you're just if you're feeling hurt, then you kind of want to I want to just be angry, okay, and just not deal with my sadness about that. So but I see that there's some use for anger sometimes, but it's not something to be afraid of, as long as you're not going around hurting people with your anger. But I do instead try to find a way to deal with the sadness that is underlying that. So it's one of those things that's I don't want, I feel in certain situations that, the people that are close to me, and maybe even people that I don't really know, the strangers, that they help me in certain ways, but I'm helping myself, and I just feel like there's this expectation that, well, if you talk about something and you are being vulnerable about it, that you want somebody to just like give you the answers that, oh, this will help you to do this. And I was like, well, I'm not asking for that. I am doing the things I need to do. I have the backing of, my belief in God and the angels and Jesus. And, for a lot of people, there's like the pantheons of gods and everything like that. And I see that belief helps me. And of course, there are people that are atheists and they have their own belief in themselves and everything. I'm not saying that to be successful in life that you need to have a belief in something else than that, but I'm just saying for myself that I see that it does make a difference to me, because of course how I feel and how I see things around me, that it just seems there's definitely a lot going on and all the things that happen. And it's with discernment that I look at this, that I see that there's more to the things that we go through in life, that they have meaning. And of course, how I assign, well, it's not really it just seems to have some meaning to me, but I see with reason as well. I mean, I know with dealing with spiritual matters, you kind of have to have some faith as well. And of course there may be proof, and I've had times when it's been proven that certain things have gone, that are going on, that are, and I guess you would say psychic in nature or whatever, that those things do happen. But of course, there's still people that are not being truthful. But things like premonitions and stuff like that, and having those show to be true, things that I couldn't have known beforehand, that I've had dreams about, or just certain things when I'm awake, just turning out to be right. Those moments are important to me, but I don't want to let it overtake everything that is logical, because sometimes it can, be too much. At least, when you're going through certain moments, it can be too much, because there's just so much happening. So I guess I'm rambling a little bit, but this is just kind of going with the flow. So I guess I just wanted to express myself in a way, and to try to express that we need to understand our journeys are different, but that we really actually are doing what we need to do. And it's not for somebody to judge and say, well, certain things that happen, that, oh, well, you attracted those kind of people that are rude to you or something like that. To make judgments on how somebody else is experiencing things, that everything, I know there's a law of attraction, of course, but I think it's a lot more complicated than that, and it's not something that's always in our hands, that there's certain things that happen that we don't quite understand, but that we need to actually not let those things consume us, that the things that we can't have answers to, no matter what somebody else says, somebody else can say, well, I have all the answers or something like that, and it's like, no, they don't always have all the answers. You know, they don't have, they don't have the answers to all the spiritual matters that you can ever think of, or even to things that are more scientific. You don't have all the answers to those things. So it's just important that we don't just kind of put someone on a pedestal or put ourselves on a pedestal, and that we don't separate ourselves from each other, and don't become too cynical, but or really at all, to have discernment in our beliefs, but I mean, to have our foundation, the beliefs that we know that are, whether with faith or to have facts to them, and then, the things, I guess you would separate the ones with faith from facts, like the things that when you have family members or people close to you that they love, they love you, and to hold on to that thing because that's real, and then the things that you don't know or that are based on faith, even if those are very important, you seem to have reasons to believe it because there seems to be a lot of things that other people share with you or that they experience with you that have shown you that there's things like that are real, that there really is something more to this life that is unconditionally loving, and that it's not without mistake that you were born. Those kind of things. But, the things that you don't know for sure, that you don't have great faith in, but you're just trying to figure out, of course you're searching for answers, but you leave that because, when you find something that, might help you to see to help you to form your opinion, that's one thing, but then you don't focus on it entirely because there's more important things. There's things that you do know, you have to take care of yourself and maybe your family, and then other people that you come across sometimes in different ways, just by being compassionate, by being polite, and to participate in society, to not feel like other people are not needing help in some way, by maybe giving your time or something like that in some way. I mean, it's kind of a vast thing. I know it's still being held together with the main subject that I, of course, keep on talking about, but saying, compassion, compassion, compassion. That, but I just feel that just expressing myself the best that I can to allow myself to talk and not feel like I have to rush or anything like that. That the people that need to hear this will hear it, and I hope that it actually, helps you to think of your own thoughts on how you feel this is going on in your life, how you see yourself, and how other people portray compassion. We all need to work on it. Even it doesn't matter how much we do. We can always do better, but of course, don't go overboard. But to not, try to overwhelm somebody. You don't want to try to feel like you solve someone's problems or anything like that, because that's not exactly coming from the best place, because it's like, well, somebody, is doing what the best that they can, and they are very much able to take care of their own life, and of course when they ask for help, what the answer, or like how you help them may or may not help them, but it just, you do your best if you're asked to do so. But anyways, just very, very much glad that I could do this video today, and of course there's much more to talk about, but I just feel that it's still where it needs to be, and I will see if I can do more videos to just talk more about what I've experienced and just whatever comes through naturally. So thank you for watching this, and I will see you again soon. Bye!